flex. The live is 1 in the 6. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. It's time to bleed. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's get to this. Let's do this roll call real quick. Tay, good morning, Queen. G McCall. Sister Shawa in the building. That's right. We on part 2. His words, not ours. Go subscribe to Yes Indeed Boxing. My brother Mac of the South. The CDB, BBO, Delano, Bernard Gilbert, Rick Blackwell. My brother IROC in the building, Nicholas Levy. My brother in the Strong House. Salute to you, good brother. Much love. Thank you so much. Freedom's March in the building. Salute. Mr. Shelton, Ern Jordan. Michael Ray, salute. Like the video, hype the video, share the video. We are our own algorithm. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do a mother skunting thing for us. That's right. They want us to be professional here on YouTube and watch our mouths. Yeah, we'll do that. Give me about 20 minutes. We're all adults. Terrific stuff. So, this is part 2. I couldn't do it in one show. It was a 40-minute interview. Chris Mannix, and he interviewed Mauricio SILLYMAN. And by way of his own words, let me be very clear, because this is, I'm gonna tell you where we left off at. We left off. Mauricio SILLYMAN tells you what the WBC's priorities are. The priorities are the promoters, the industry, the networks, and lastly, the fighters. And I need y'all, I wrote it down for y'all. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Cheeks, what's good, brother? Salute to you and the family. Keep that in mind. And if you keep that in mind, it will explain exactly why. It would explain exactly why they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Rod Neal, salute. Miss Van Houder, salute. Coach Hudson in the building, salute. Stormy in the building, salute. Ratchet, my brother, salute. Y'all heard me say this before. Don't tell me what your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I'll tell you what they are. The WBC's priorities, in this order, this is how we said it. Romello, salute. Steve-O, salute. The promoters, the industry, the networks, the fighters. Now, what has Turkey Al-Sheikh taken away? He's taken away the first 3. George, what up, George? Yep. He's taken away, Turkey Al-Sheikh has taken away the first 3. Because the old way of doing things just disappeared in the last 24 months. Think about what I just said. If you don't believe me, where can you watch Top Rank Boxing right now? Where can you watch PBC Boxing? It was supposed to be Amazon. What happened? Where you watching Matchroom? On DAZN, right? Queensberry, same thing. Who they in bed with? Riyadh season. Where does that lead the WBC? I'm going to give you the order again. They said, the WBC says in this order. Now listen very carefully. The promoters, the industry, the networks, and lastly, the fighters. So if the promoters are powerless against Turki Al-Sheikh, the industry has changed, so they can't manipulate anything, right? They can't manipulate anything. There are no real networks because everything is going through DAZN, and DAZN has a working relationship with Riyadh Season. And actually, under the banner of TKO, the fighters take priority. Do I have it wrong? George, do I have that wrong? Let me know. Anybody? Do I have that wrong? Any haters that are just de-watching me right now? Do I have it wrong? Sounds like TKO is the place to be. If you want to be a fighter and make money and beat your contemporaries and prove you're the best in the game, sounds like TKO is the place to be. You kids that were born in 2000, not at 86 in that super chat. He says, salute, Drew, salute to the mighty LDBC. Salute to you, good brother. And George could tell you. He used to work. See that picture of him? That's him with Manny Stewart right there. That's really him. He's been around the big execs in HBO. He knows. You guys that were born in like 2000, you couldn't be watching boxing with a critical eye until maybe 2015. And still in 2015, you were a teenager. By 2020, you was a grown-ass man, and you'd still no minimum. You're already distracted by social media and everything. You know, you're coming up in an era where kids will tell you LeBron James is the GOAT. And we say Michael Jordan, and you say, oh, no, I seen him. No, you didn't. You saw highlight reels. You don't understand how devastating Michael Jordan was. That man changed the game. I don't want to change the topic, but I'm saying I'm not arguing with a 21-year-old about who the GOAT in basketball is. I've literally seen every era from the 80s, 90s into the 2000s, and I stopped a few years ago because it got unbearable. But my point is it fair to say you don't know what you don't know? Hey, Mr. Shelton, Kareem told the world that Michael Jordan is the GOAT. So, hey. I mean, hey. Listen, don't listen to me. Listen to him. Watch this. Do numbers always tell the tale? They're making us think about LeBron being 41 and catching a triple-double. I just saw that on the gram this morning.
Who cares?
I also watched him catch a ball off the inbound and do a finger roll into an air ball. That is Satan's work. But I digress. Back to boxing. Mauricio SILLYMAN. Oh, nah, Tay. I don't. He's lost it, and he's having a meltdown in this interview. He lost it. He absolutely lost it. The WBC told us, they're loyal to the promoters first. Right? What does WBO mean? Whatever Bob orders. Watch this. Bob Arum owned the WBO, who had a working relationship with who? ESPN. And now ESPN got rid of boxing. And our last vision of ESPN's boxing was Keyshawn Davis and his brothers jumping some kid in the back. That was the end of that. Right? Am I lying? Am I lying? No, that's what happened. That's what happened. Then what? The industry, right? The industry is next. That's number 2. The industry? Well, how's that working out? How's that working out? The industry, how's that working out? The industry done changed. The networks? What network? What network? You can have the baddest fighter waving around that WBC strap, but what network? And you see, he found out the hard way that Canelo, he didn't care about this in-house power, and y'all know what I'm talking about. He was about his bread, which is why when he said, you got to go fight Gennady Golovkin, he said, man, take this belt. I'll do what I want to do. Didn't he say that in writing? Didn't Canelo told Mauricio SILLYMAN, you don't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And he went around and made money and spun the block and came right back and said, okay, now I'm going to fight Golovkin. He tamed him. Yeah, that's your green belt, but I'm Canelo. They don't care what belt's around my waist, which is why he tried to go to cruiserweight and fight Badu Jack. Y'all remember that? Hey, Canelo paid that. He said, hey, I'm with it. What do I got to do? They said, come down 18 pounds and fight Canelo. He said, I'm a cruiserweight. Yeah, come down 18 pounds and fight for your belt. He said, well, that's not a cruiserweight belt if he's not coming up to me. So I'll tell you what. Get off my phone and go fight David Benavidez and stop ducking him. That's what he said. And y'all let Canelo get away with that, by the way. I was all over that. I said, oh, well, we not going to talk about this? Okay. He was trying to pad his legacy. That's what he was doing. Boxing landscape has changed in 24 months. So his priorities were the promoters. That's falling short now because the promoters have been assimilated. The industry has changed how he used to know it, so he can't profit off of that anymore. There is no networks. And last was the fighters. See, Mauricio, maybe if you put the fighters first, you wouldn't be dealing with this. Because if you put the fighters first, you know what would have happened? Guess what? 88, salute, brother. Texas T, salute. You know what happens if you had put the fighters first? You might have gotten the best fighting the best. Maybe if you stop creating titles for the betterment of your sanctioning body and doing what's good for business. Maybe if you stop doing that and let things happen organically, people would respect you more. Hell, maybe Turkey Al-Sheikh would have respected you more. Maybe. But now he's trying to kill you. Now he's trying to kill you. And nobody cares. And now you're on here with Chris Mannix. You're on here with Chris Mannix fighting for your life. So let's get to it, bro. Part 2. Now, I want y'all to listen. Y'all, I just brought y'all up to speed. Here's where we at.
Without even me asking, without asking me anything about what we're talking. I don't tell you how to do your job. My job is to be the president of the WBC, which involves many, many, many things that you cannot imagine.
Do you see Chris fakes? Now Mauricio's the victim. You know what I love about this? And I need you to understand what I'm about to say. I love that this is a white man doing this to him. I love it. I absolutely love it. You know why? Because if it was anybody else, nobody would respect it. Mansa Musa, Eric H. Let's go. What up? See Money. What up? Bed-Stuy in the building. Y'all get what I'm saying? That's just the reality of this. I'm glad it was Chris Mannix and not Akim Barak. I'm glad it was Chris Mannix and not Malik Scott sitting there, or anybody anybody non-white talking to him, because it wouldn't be respected. The fact that this is Chris Mannix doing this, more and more, I think this is by design, man. Minute second salute. Rod Neal in that super chat, salute, brother. He says Mauricio's up there windmilling. Yeah, now he's the victim. No. Welcome to planet Earth. Exactly, Shower. He has to order Usyk and Cabello. That was logic. People take these interim straps because they think, okay, I got this, so I gotta be next, right? Right? Yeah, all right. If Cabello's last name was Rodriguez, please. They've been trying to strip the nonsense out of Usyk if he didn't fight him next. Corbin, what up? So now we're back to this guy, Mauricio. He's the victim now.
Which involves our social responsibility actions. The WBC cares, the Jose Sulaiman Fund, and you can roll your eyes like saying,
I'm not rolling my eyes. This is
Oh my God. He's tight.
not the subject, Mauricio. I understand you do a lot of good things for fighters.
You come back with any subject that you want to be. I can say whatever I want to say as well.
I know you can. What I'm pointing out, look, Cabello, I don't understand why he's not being ordered right now to fight for that title. But let me ask you this:
because the champion Usyk, December 3rd, Cabello was not available because he had a fight scheduled in January, and he requested a voluntary title defense, which is very customary. He was given that opportunity, and he must fight the interim champion next. That's the ruling.
Usyk must fight the interim champion next, after his next fight.
After his voluntary defense, yes.
Okay, let me ask you about the ranking system.
Okay, now look. We're about to get into the ranking system. This is about to get very, very, very interesting. Because we all know the rankings don't mean ish. We know that, right? We all know that. Look, man. Oh. Young Abel, salute. Fair use, y'all. We're about to get into the rankings. And what's interesting is Mannix is giving them all of this smoke. And this smoke was there to destroy Mauricio at least a decade ago. But let's keep it here.
Do you believe that boxing rankings should be a meritocracy? Should they be awarded via merit?
Absolutely, yes.
You heard that? You heard that, right? You heard what he said, right? Y'all don't have time to Google what meritocracy means, so let me explain to you. If you earn your spot, that's just it. That's what they're talking about. Now, you heard him say yes, right? You heard him say yes. Where do you think this is going?
May I describe how we do the rankings in the
Here we go. Here we go.
WBC? We have a rankings committee composed of 36 people from around the world.
36 people from around the world.
They have regional, they are all over the place. So every week they send in a report of activity, what they see on their region, or they comment of whatever activity was there in the world. They send a report every week. We have a secretary who compiles all the information, and we have a chairman, Dean Lojas from California, a co-chairman, Kevin Noon from Thailand, who manage all the administration of the information.
Where the hell are the Americans?
One time a month, on a Sunday, the last Sunday of the month, this committee has a Zoom that lasts 5-6 hours, where they go all the situation, divisions, information that happened during the month. They put out the draft, they do a revision, and then they send out the rankings of the WBC by month. We published on February 2nd, and it is our goal to publish the first day of the month starting this year, because in the past we were publishing on the 8th, on the 10th, or the 15th, and it was So now this year, they're publishing the first day of each month.
Okay.
There's a rankings criteria, which you can find also in the rules.
Rankings criteria. Thank you, Eric H. This guy's FOS. That's an acronym, y'all. So now they meet on the last Sunday of every month with some guy from Thailand or whatever, no Americans in the room, and they sit down and say, okay, this guy's ranked here, this guy's ranked here, and these are the rankings. And they do this once a month. This is what he's telling us. Unique Dawn, salute. This is what he's telling us. Now, he's about to get into the criteria. This is going to be funny as hell.
And there's many criteria that are there available to analyze each single fighter, including the record, the amateur career, the
What does the amateur career have to do with anything on a pro level?
career in other sports, contact sports,
What?
like Muay Thai, kickboxing, etc.
Are you kidding? Bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just let them talk. So now there could be some dude, Fo Sung Pak, pops up in the WBC rankings and he's number 15. You're like, well, who is this dude? And we're having a conversation in our chats. Yo, who is Fo Sung Pak? And then some dude from Thailand pops up that we've never seen before. Oh, he was nice in Thai boxing. I don't care. He may be a world-class athlete in Thai boxing. Are we talking about Thai boxing or boxing? I don't care what he did over there. Respectfully, he might be nice with it, but I don't care. Why are we factoring in Thai boxing and mixed martial arts into WBC rankings? Are y'all listening to this? You hear it yourself. He just said we factor in other sports. He just said that.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
D. Scott, what up? You hearing it? You hearing it?
Record, activity, level of opposition, and results, whether you fought at home or abroad.
He's lying. They don't factor in any of that. They've been telling us that Monster Inouye is the truth. And I'm telling you, pound for pound, I just don't see it. He's knocking out a bunch of people at the booger weights. His toughest opponent was Nonito. Nonito is an old man as it pertains to boxing. Tried to cheat Nonito, right? He's in there getting knocked on his ass with left hooks. I mean, he's winning. But I see floor after floor after floor. And then you tell me that we got to factor in amateur careers, home wins, road wins. I got to think, no, y'all factor in all of this? I'm telling you, this guy's lying. This guy's lying right to your face.
And it's just a lot of combination of criteria to compose the analysis of each single fighter.
Okay, so let me just focus then on one weight class because it's a popular one and we've got fights coming up. The welterweight division, which Ryan Garcia is going to challenge Mario Barrios for his
Here we go. This is what I was waiting for.
WBC welterweight title. When I look at the top 5 of those rankings, Mauricio.
Did you see his face? Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back because I know you missed it. Let me bring it back. Look at his face. He's going to look to his right. Look.
Welterweight title. When I look at the top 5 of those rankings, Mauricio, there's no way it can be considered American.
Yeah, take that drink. Yeah. Now look, this is a fair question. This is a fair question. this is a fair question because everybody, look, there was no getting around this. Everybody was like, all right, he can go to 147, but how the hell he jumped the whole line to get a title shot ahead of everybody else? And on top of that, he lost his last fight. It wasn't even close. But wait a minute, about 7 years ago, wasn't we asking, hey man, how the hell does Vasily Lomachenko get all these opportunities? Didn't we ask that? And what were we called? Oh, you're racist, so you don't like Europeans. Yeah, with that aside, whatever. If you want to put that coat on me, I'll squeeze into it. But okay, let's say I'm racist. Let's say I don't like European white people. Answer the question. How the hell does he keep getting these opportunities? How the hell did he jump up in these rankings? I could be racist all I want. It's a free country. I want you to explain this. Because you could say I'm racist. I could say you're racist. I big up Andre Ward all the time. I say, hey, man, that man won the Super Six. I don't want to hear anything. You know what I'm told? Oh, the Super Six was so long ago. How long ago? That was 1,000,000 years ago. Well, you know what was 3 million years ago? Vasily Lomachenko's amateur career. Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, 4, 5, 10 million years ago. And why is it that every time they promote these Europeans over here, what do they say? They have over 1,000 amateur wins.
Who cares?
Y'all sure y'all want to have this conversation with me? So he's asking about Ryan Garcia and he needs some water. But he needs some milk though.
Meritocracy. You have Conor Benn, who has not fought at welterweight in nearly 4 years, who has never beaten a top welterweight, ranked at number 1 over Suleiman Sissoko, an undefeated fighter who I
That soul man that I was talking about.
know is waiting for his opportunity to fight for a welterweight title. You've got Ryan Garcia ranked in the top 5, has no wins at welterweight, has never won a major championship. You've got Manny Pacquiao in the top 5. Yes, Pacquiao looked better than expected against Mario Barrios, but he's still not a top 5 welterweight at this stage of his career. Behind these guys, you've got guys like Raul Curiel, you've got Jack Catterall, you've got Brian Norman, you've got Amantas Stanionis. You have got longtime welterweights with real welterweight resumes behind guys that don't have them. How do you, like you say I'm overly critical, and yes, I am. I'll give you that. I let her rip sometimes on these sanctioning bodies. But how do you look at that and say any of that is based on merit?
Now, let me ask y'all a question. We've been asking things like this for years, but what are we met with? We're racist, we're haters, y'all just black and complaining. You know what I always said? After you attack me racially and say that I'm just complaining and I don't like this and I don't like that, you know what I'm left with? After you go on your insecure rant? You said all that. Just answer the question. It's a fair question. Are you refusing to answer the question? In other words, I could be racist. That's my choice. I'm an American. I have freedom of choice, right? That's what these white people on the internet, every time you see them, oh yeah, nigger, nigger, nigger. Black people filming them saying, why are you saying that? Do we know what they say? It's a free country. You're right. But now you're on candid camera. Boxing, please. Salute. Now you're on candid camera. But watch this. With that aside, answer the question. Now you done insulted me, you done put me on blast, and you talk about everything else. Can you answer the question? Can you? y'all know what Darvo is? It's an acronym. Y'all know what it is? Y'all know what Darvo is? Should I do a show on it? Because that's a lot of boxing fans. Darvo, it's an acronym. Write this down and rewind it, because I'm about to give you some game right now. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. I think a psychologist, her name was Jennifer, her last name begins with an F. Frey, Jennifer Frey. I knew about that since the 90s. Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. Corner girl, it has elements of gaslighting. It's the art of blame shifting. Thank you, Junior. How'd I know Junior would know this? How'd I know my brother would know this? There's a psychology behind this boxing thing. Again, this is why I don't debate, because all these niggas is crazy. Seriously. They're crazy. Look up Darvo in the acronym. It's the art of evading responsibility. The purpose, from what I remember, you're maintaining power and control when you evade the responsibility. At the same time, you discredit the person that's bringing attention to your BS. And at the same time, at the end, make the audience feel sympathetic towards you. When in reality, you're the perpetrator. You're the perpetrator. Why do you think I say, hey, y'all can go where y'all want to go? Y'all can go wherever y'all want to go to get your boxing content. But when you go to a channel that you know don't like me, and they go on a marathon stream about my personal, what they think is my personal business, dragging me personally, that's not boxing. That's a personal attack. And you're free to go over there. But when you're seen there, because I got eyes and ears everywhere, when you're seen there, don't tell me, oh, I'm just there for boxing. No, you're not. That guy did a marathon stream with my government name and dragging me and trying to put out what I did on blast in my personal life for work or whatever it is. That wasn't boxing. That was a personal attack. And I'm not no criminal. I have nothing to hide. I don't care. But you were over there high-fiving and laughing, and you know I'm not cool with that person. Okay? So I bid you a farewell and stay your ass over there. You're blocked. Stay over there. Get your content over there. You can still come over here and watch, but you can't participate in any reindeer games. Rudolph. But you're not Rudolph. You're more like Pinocchio. Because what happens is when you're caught in a lie, your nose starts growing. I did this already. Y'all remember that dude cooking with Sir a couple of years ago? All I said was, hey, bro, you was over there with World Combat Sports Talk, and he did a whole stream about me personally. And you were there. So I said, yo, go over there. Stay over there. Don't come back here. Dude came over here and starts talking about stripper booties. I'm like, wait, what? What? Right, goodbye. Goodbye. You're done. Get out of here. Weirdo. Look up Darvo. And then spin the block and check these YouTube channels. They all talk about us. All we doing is telling the truth. Why do you think I always say, stop me when I'm lying about this? K-Rod, salute. How many times you hear me say that? Stop me when I'm lying. I don't care what fight I'm talking about. I'll be like, stop me when I'm lying. Dank, what up? Yeah, Rod, you remember that? Yeah, I got low like a stripper booty. I'm like, well, okay, this conversation's over. What are you talking about, bro? They don't like us, but they always pop up in our chats. I saw this dusty, man, I ain't even, you know what? Let me get back on topic. Y'all already know what time it is. Stay away from me. How hard is that? How hard is that? Marathon streams about me. Darvo. Redirecting, and then they playing the victim. Look it up, man. And then when you respond, they're the victims. See, this is why I don't like to support Deontay, because, you know, the LDBC and the Wakandas. The nigga literally looks like the monkey that comes out the box and bangs the cymbals together. He literally looks like that. Literally. Literally. Yeah, I'm talking about Coach Malachi. Literally looks like that. I didn't do shit to that man. I don't know. Dude, that came out of nowhere. Like all of these dudes came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. I said, what is he talking about? What does that shirt say? LDBC killer. Who is this? What the fuck? Bro, I don't know none of these dudes. I don't know where it started. I don't know how it started. I don't know. I don't know. But you let them tell it, Darvo. Keep the acronym in mind. Darvo. They all FOS. That's my acronym, full of, you know. So when I say, hey, man, yeah, exactly, Kawhi Elliott, zestiness. So when I say, yo, look, I don't know what I did to these dudes. I never had an argument with these dudes. And if I did talk to them on the phone at some point, and it was an argument, I know for a fact I didn't start it. Just spark salute. And I just leave it alone. And next thing you know, I'm getting lives made about me and marathon streams. I'm like, well, what did I do to this person? Oh, they look at me and they feel they got robbed in the genetics department. Don't blame me. Blame your parents, bro. You stopped growing at 5'3", bro. I didn't do that to you. I didn't do that to you. I didn't. These dudes are medically challenged in the brain. And then when someone genuinely says, yo, look, man, I don't know what happened. What happened? They start lying all over the place. Oh, well, Drew did this and the LDBC did that. You know what we did? We formed and we talked boxing. That's it. And stop us when we're lying. That's all I ask you to do. Stop us when we lie. Oh, well, y'all got to pick wrong. So what? It's boxing. Fighters win, fighters lose. Fighters win, fighters lose. Everybody gets a pick wrong. And so what? You know what doesn't change? Our support. That doesn't change. Guys are ridiculous, bro. But research the acronym DARVO. It's an interesting read. There are so many reasons why I don't get on panels and go back and forth with these dudes over. The last time I did it, I said, man, you know, why the fuck? The last time I got into it, I was on BFTB's panel and it was with Mag 7. And that's my bad. I know better than that. That dude's a fucking idiot. He's legitimately a stuttering idiot. I'm not kidding. Tay-Tay, salute, queen. She says, hashtag support always. Much love, sweetie. Thank you so much. Go subscribe to Tay-Tay, the real queen of MMA. Get your MMA fix over there, for real. Now, why the hell am I on a panel arguing with Mag 7? Why the hell? Nah, Rick Blackwell, I'm not making fun of dudes under 6 feet tall. What I'm saying is you're secure with yours. You got a grown adolescent that stopped growing at 5'4". He grew a beard out so he could look grown. And he starts beefing with a whole goddamn group of people that ain't do nothing to him. What the hell is that? You suicidal? Well, he's not suicidal because when he came to New York, he met 78. And 78 said, yo, everybody's out here. Now, if 78 ain't hook off on him, what make, dude, we got shit to lose. We're parents. Some of us are grandparents. We ain't trying to catch a case over some shit that some midget with a beard said on the internet. I wanted to meet him to find out, yo, bro, what I do to you? That's my question. Yo, what I do to you? What happened? He ain't come to the weigh-in. He ain't come to the fight. That's the truth. That is the truth. I don't care what he said on his channel. Oh, yeah, Shelton, he originally wanted to join the LDBC. All 78 said was, yo, just hang around. That's all. Y'all know what a Freemason is? You can't just walk up to somebody and say, I want to be a Mason. They're going to look at you crazy. They got to get to know you, and I don't want to get too deep into that. War report, salute. Nigga said a 5'9". Nigga. No, Malachi's legitimately 5'4". There's a picture of him with Bill. Bill is a straight 5'9". Malachi was like at least 3 inches shorter than Bill. I said, Jesus Christ, that's what it is. And when I heard of Malachi, dudes came to me and was like, yo, who's this dude calling you a midget? I said, I don't know. And they sent me a clip. Yeah, Drew the midget. Drew the midget. I'm like, I hope dude is 6'5". And then Cat started telling me, sending me pictures of him. I said, now why is this little nigga calling me a midget? You see, he's crazy. And when I call these dudes crazy, insecure, and homosexual, I'm telling you it comes from there. I'm telling you. Salute, odd fella. It comes from somewhere. I'm not just flinging it around. I'm like, yo, these dudes be gay as hell. Why every time someone talk about me, they talk about steroids? Why they gotta do that? What's that? I just exercise. What the hell? Before dudes started seeing me in person, they was like, yo, Drew, you're not 6'2", you're 5'9". I'm like, okay. I don't forget what event I went to. That stopped. Then, now what? What else you want to try and drag me about? Oh, we know what you used to do for a living. What, work? Work? What are we talking about here? And here's the kicker. The only people doing this to me look like me. Hence why there's a Monkey Tuesday, because I dedicate that day as an FU to the knuckle draggers. Because I love my black people, but I hate you hard ERs. Especially since y'all give Ryan Garcia a pass. Now let me get back to boxing. He's about to explain why Ryan Garcia jumped the line.
It has absolute justification.
Huh? Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. What was that word he said?
Look at that and say any of that is based on merit.
It has absolute justification.
I don't ever want to hear anybody talk about Deontay Wilder's speech ever again. Y'all can't even spell what the hell he just said. Y'all can screen record this.
It has absolute justification.
Oh my God.
Merit. It has absolute justification.
We could close the show right now. You want to listen to this dude about rankings? He can't even say the word justification. Y'all remember when the Tank fans was on was on Champ Sides Live, and they couldn't say exhibition. They said expedition. It's an expedition with Jake Paul. It's an expedition. He said it's an expedition. He said, yeah. He said expedition. He said spell it, and dudes just started laughing. Yo. Oh my God. Just let them talk. Let me bring that back one more time. I'm gonna let it run after this, bro.
Merit.
It has absolute justification. Okay, Conor Benn, you cannot question his great boxing ability.
What? Hey, Rolly, you agree with what he said? Fuck you talking about? Mauricio, the fuck you talking about? Did you hear this? All right, okay. Let him talk.
You cannot question that. He fought in middleweight twice with Chris Eubank. We go way back with Conor Benn. He had
We go way back with Conor Benn. Now listen to this.
First finding, which was very public, and which the British authorities put him on the side for nearly 2 years, I believe. The WBC did conduct the clean boxing program protocol, and we found and we ruled on his case, and he was completely cleared.
You don't say.
We had continuous communications for a long, long time. He requested to the WBC to fight for the WBC Welterweight Championship. That was put into the ratings committee consideration, and that was put into the WBC Board of Governors for a vote, and it was approved. I'm gonna sideline a little bit. I am the president of the WBC, but I am not the single person in the WBC. We have a board, 36 members from all over the world.
Those same members that helped invent the franchise status. Hey, y'all see that? How does a drug cheat get to request anything? You know why? Star power. Remember the criteria I just told y'all. The criteria. What's the criteria, ladies and gentlemen? Promoters, industry, networks, then the fighters. So we're past the promoters. Now we're doing what's good for the industry. Chris Eubanks is good for business. What is he telling you about Ryan Garcia? Fuck rankings, he's good for business. This is why I don't give a damn if these sanctioning bodies die. Don't talk to me about no Muhammad Ali Act, because none of you casuals even knew what the fuck that was until 3 weeks ago.
And they are the ones that vote on every single matter. Okay, Conor Benn, he has not fought in the division, but we consider that he is of the highest level. He was ranked in welterweight for many years, and he has sent his weight continuously to the WBC, so we know, monitoring, that he is a natural welterweight and he will be competing safely in that division.
My God.
Ryan Garcia is a very specific case.
You ready for this?
I don't think you can question his boxing level and ability.
What? Are y'all hearing this? Y'all hearing this? Let him talk.
He has been very close to the WBC for many years. He was
When he at the presser with Barrios, did he not say I love the WBC and brought out those dusty old porn bags? Why do you think he said that?
silver champion. He won the interim champion during the pandemic, and
Those aren't real belts.
then he suffered from mental health breakdown.
Mental health breakdown. Let him talk.
He requested the WBC 1 year. So he vacated his title. When he was
He never had a title, y'all. He never had a title, y'all. He never had a title. Meanwhile, the silver champion and all this stuff, you know he's collecting fees on those, right? Okay. Now look at Manic's face like, yo, what the fuck, bro?
signed to fight against Haney, we immediately expressed the WBC concerns before the fight with the Boxing Commission in New York, with the promoters and his management. And very unfortunately, you saw the horrible breakdown that happened, which led the WBC to expel him from the WBC.
No, say what it is. He calls it a breakdown. It wasn't a breakdown. It was a racist outburst. Say what it is. You see, bro, you gotta listen to them. That was not a mental breakdown. That was a racist outburst. He won't say what it is. Let me ask you a question. Is Malachi pointing this out? Ego pointing this out? The bliggity black from the Bay? Is anybody that talks about us, are they pointing this out? It was a racist outburst. He just called it a mental breakdown. We got to do something. Well, you know what? Let's just suspend him. Thank you, Thomas. That's a real mental breakdown. That's a real one. A real mental breakdown is Hector Camacho on the eve of a championship fight, opening up a window and threatening to jump out of it. That dude was crazy. Go watch the documentary. He was crazy. There was something wrong with him. Hell of a fighter, but he was crazy. Say what it is.
But when we expelled them, we don't just throw him away. We kept communications at all times with him and his management. And we kept offering solutions for him to get well, both in mental health and in treatment of addictions. Once he proved and did everything to go back and come back in a position, the WBC welcomed him back to the WBC, and he's going to fight for the title.
Did any of that make any sense? Did any of that justify him losing his last fight at 140 and then getting a title shot at 147? Did he answer the damn question? Did I miss it? Did he answer the goddamn question? Oh my gosh.
If all these things, I understand what you say about the other fighters in the weight categories, but I see every single case that has a merit to be ranked, and that is the interpretation from the ratings committee.
It's not that they're ranked. It's that where they're ranked. Like Conor Benn, before he had his problems, was not number one at the WBC welterweight.
WBC loves drug cheats, man. Conor Benn was a drug cheat. He wasn't able to fight in his own country for a while. Ryan Garcia is a racist drug cheat. Got suspended for a year, and he maintains contact with people like that. Tyson Fury and shit. And this is the sanctioning body that they do. That's the green belt, right?
Weight rankings. You put him up there. The rankings committee put him up there after he went 1-1 at 160 pounds. He comes back down and you put him there. You put him over Sissoko, who has fought a few times at welterweight and done whatever the WBC has asked
to get that. Chisoko and Ben, do you think Chisoko clearly beats Ben, or you?
Oh, now he's talking like a fan. Now he's talking like a fan. So you put Ben above Sissoko because you think Ben beats him. Now he sounds like all of these idiots that come in our chat. Think about what he just said. This is the WBC president, y'all. Y'all hear that? The answer is, I don't know who wins, but how do we find out? That's why there's rankings. You move up the rank based off of your what? Activity, your wins, your losses. Nobody thought Buster Douglas was going to beat Mike Tyson. Nobody thought Vernon Forrest was not only going to beat Shane, but dominate him. Twice. It's boxing. And it's the president of the WBC saying that. He is telling you that he put Conor above that guy because he feels that he beats him. You hear this? It's not me. It's this motherfucker saying this. The WBC president is a fan. And he's doing what's great for his business. I told you. And this is why he's mad. Because Turkey is putting the kibosh on all of that. Mojave Nation Sports Podcast and that super chat salute. He says, a real mental breakdown is when Oliver McCall cried in the ring against Lennox Lewis. Mauricio is full of crap. Yeah, I saw that live. I said, what's he doing? Even Lennox was confused. Like, what's wrong with him? Dude, you won by knockout in the first fight. Why are you crying? He had a nervous breakdown. Ryan didn't have a nervous breakdown. He tried to cheat. He was being celebrated for a win. He got caught. He lied. Right? Yeah, I remember he took canisters and sent them to the third-party drug testing, and they said, "Oh, we found Ostarine," and Showbiz, the grown adolescent, was like, "See, ha! Told you." And they said, "Well, yo, it's a nothing bomb because the canisters we got were unopened. I mean, they were already opened." Which means this dumbass he lied and put the Ostarine in it. Duh. And what did Showbiz say about that? What do all the Haney haters say about that? That was like within a span of 24 hours. See, I told you he was drugged. And then they said, hold on, we got the canisters that was opened. Which means he put the shit in it. And that went away. And then he wants to resurrect George Floyd and delete him again and join the Ku Klux Klan. What did those other channels say about that? Are we still Wakandans? Or what's going on? See what I mean? 88 Sports Talk, my brother in that super chat salute. He says, Mauricio, let us see the books. Don't let us find out Ryan and Ben paid for their ranking position, 100K maybe. No, you know what? No, 88, you know what I think? That's a possibility, but you know what I think? They just see value in different people. What are they going to say about Conor Ben? He got a country behind him. I love it when you Black American fight fans say that. Oh, I like that fight. He got all of Mexico behind him. He got all of Canada behind him. He got all of Ireland behind him. Dude, you live in the biggest country in the world. I never heard anybody, when bigging up a black fighter, say they got all of America behind them. Because y'all feel it's not true. You let Floyd Mayweather tell it, his millions that were generated off of the Mexican dollar, not us. And you know that's bullshit. That's all right, Kawhi Elliott. That's why I slow it down. That's why I slow it down. Let's get back to it. Listen to this clown. So he's asking, do you think, oh my God. Let me bring it back so you can hear it. Mannix asks a real good question. Let's see what he says. Watch this.
Times at welterweight and done whatever the WBC has asked
Do you think,
to get
do you
that.
think Chisoko and Ben? Do you think Chisoko clearly beats Ben, or you have doubts?
I don't know how that goes. I don't know how that fight goes. I think Sissoko is a very good boxer and undefeated for a reason.
Then you are proving that Ben could beat Chisoko, so you have doubts.
But this is my point. I think
Oh my God, this is the president saying shit like that. If this interview isn't the most revealing pipe bomb like ever.
I asked you at the top, should it be a meritocracy? And meritocracy, of course, is they earn it. They've earned it by fighting many, many times in that weight class or being an undisputed champion and moving up.
Conor Ben earned it by fighting a much bigger Eubank.
Oh my God. Fuck the rankings. You've worked from number 20, and just when you get to number 3, here come 2 motherfuckers that haven't done anything in that division, and you've been fighting and getting cut and spending time away from your family. You ain't even cracked $1 million. Baby needs the tuition paid, the car note, you got to pay the mortgage, and you're busting your ass. And just when you say, "Oh God, I'm at rank number 3, I can get a shot," this motherfucker flies in Conor Ben with the blonde hair and puts this racist drug cheat Ryan Garcia ahead of you. It's like, what the fuck are you doing this for?
And by beating him in the last fight, he kept all this time telling the WBC he wants to fight in welterweight. But
what's the criteria, the priorities of the WBC? The promoters, the industry, the networks, and then the fighters.
He's having these opportunities to make these 2 big fights for him. So we supported him. And about Pacquiao, I don't know what your reaction was last year when the WBC accepted Pacquiao to challenge Barrios. I don't know your specific. I know I took a lot of heat, huge, from many people. But at the end of that fight, I was very proud of the WBC's decision. He drew with the champion of the WBC. So for you to question Pacquiao in the top 5,
but he's been look, the ends don't justify the means here. Like, you can't say because he was competitive,
Mauricio can't keep still, can he?
That justifies the decision to put him in the top 5. At the time, he had been out of the ring. He'd been out of the ring. Mauricio, he'd been out of the ring for 4 years. My fundamental question about this.
Sugar Ray Leonard was out of the ring 4 years, and the WBC allowed him to fight.
So what? That was wrong.
Hagler, and he beat Hagler.
Look, again, I'm not necessarily... Pacquiao might be a separate story because I don't think he should be ranked after 4 years off. I'm not disagreeing with putting Ryan Garcia in the rankings, even though he is 0-1 at welterweight, or putting Conor Ben in the rankings. It's putting these guys in the top 5. So if I'm someone like Sissoko or I'm someone like Raul Curiel, how do I think I'm ever going to get a shot? Like, if I'm not as popular as these guys, how are they supposed to believe they're ever going to get these kind of opportunities?
Why don't we do one thing?
He's not answering the question. You notice that?
Call to action. I will have the ratings committee do a full analysis of the top 15 welterweights. And I'll send it to you and we can go back and forth. I can invite you to one of the ratings committee meetings.
Now he wants to groom Chris Mannix. Now he wants to groom him. He wants to fly him out. He wants to fly him out. And they can review it. He wants to wine and dine him. You see this? Ladies and gentlemen, and this is how business is done. You know who else got flown out? Bob Arum, Mauricio SILLYMAN, Bud. You know who flew him out? Daniel Kinahan to Dubai. Rick Glasser got flown out. Hey, I'm a nice guy. Hey, I got money. Hey, I want to do this with boxing. Hey, I got MTK Global. Week later, that shit busts. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. Now he wants to fly Mannix out. Brother, you ain't got, and I use that term loosely, you ain't got enough money to make this make sense. Chris Mannix is already with DAZN. He's getting paid. DAZN has a working relationship with the bank. The bank is Turkey Al-Sheikh. Mauricio, you ain't got nothing coming. This doesn't make any sense. The old way of you doing business doesn't make sense. You're done. He wants to fly him out now.
Love that. Or if you could put all your questions on ratings, I'll be happy to send it and give you, if you give us feedback, it is great. We would like to know what people from the industry think and provide information to us. We make mistakes. Of course, we make mistakes. They are not in bad faith. We may be wrong, or we may not have the best ranking on any given division or any given case. Let's look at them, and more than happy to address them.
All right, last question for you. Zuffa Boxing wants to destroy you.
Holy shit. I love that.
All right, last question for you. Zuffa Boxing wants to destroy you. All right, last question for you. Zuffa Boxing wants to destroy you. Wants to destroy you. Zuffa Boxing 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 wants to destroy you.
Look at that man's face. Look at his face. Do y'all understand that Chris Mannix was he was sent on a seek and destroy mission? Do y'all understand now? He was sent on a seek and destroy mission. Let's see what he has to say.
That's not my opinion. That's more or less
Nervous smile.
the position that Dana White has taken when it comes to the sanctioning bodies. To bring it full circle, to come back to Shakur Stevenson, if this is simply a matter of him not petitioning the WBC, should the WBC and all the sanctioning bodies be working with these fighters to try to find amenable solutions rather than alienating arguably a top 4 guy in the sport? I mean, Shakur Stevenson probably never going to fight for a WBC title ever again. Probably never. I don't know if you disagree with that, but that's my viewpoint on this. Should the WBC and all sanctioning bodies be working to make things a little easier for these guys?
You see, and this is the part where we told y'all. First of all, it's a contradiction because earlier in this interview, Mauricio SILLYMAN let you know the priorities of the WBC was in this order: promoters, industry, network, fighters. The fighters was last. We told y'all boxing has become a victim of its own circumstance. This is a direct result of the best not fighting the best, and so on and so forth. I've given y'all this breakdown before, and if boxing was doing what it was supposed to do, there'd have been nothing for Turkey Al-Sheikh to do. All of you new kids that were born in 2000, y'all were brought into this sport and with this business talk. That's how y'all talk boxing now. But I'm telling you, there was danger in that. And that's not how we discussed boxing in the 80s and 90s and 70s. That's not how we did it. Once you're having panels and like these super panels of what makes business sense and fight needs to marinate, you're already lost. Because you find yourself having conversations and justifying why your favorite fighter doesn't need to fight his contemporary because the contemporary doesn't sell enough. What do you care about this $1 million athlete? You want to see the fights. And guess what? The $1 million athlete, if they fight their contemporary, their dance partner, they're going to make money regardless. That's why we told y'all a long time ago. If AJ is the ticket, it don't matter who he fight, especially if he has one fight left against his American contemporary, Deontay Wilder, who had the WBC strap. And I think that Mauricio SILLYMAN didn't fight hard enough for Deontay. He didn't. He was too worried about what he said at the Breakfast Club in New York, launching investigations on him. He wasn't loud enough, but he's loud for Conor Ben because it makes business sense. He's loud for Ryan Garcia because that's his fellow Latino. That's exactly what it is. You're not loud for Deontay. He said something happened to him in those fights, and you just said that he's lying. And the fans are trying to ruin a historic night in boxing. What do you mean historic, Mauricio SILLYMAN? What did you mean? Press, they ain't been telling me shit because Floyd is the root of all of this shit. And Tank only regurgitated what Floyd said. What's Tank doing now? This shit is his fault. This shit is Floyd's fault. He ain't been telling me shit. I'm older than Floyd. I'm definitely older than Tank. And he's dumb. That's dumb and dumber. That's the blind leading the motherfucking blind. What are you talking about? What I'm saying is the sanctioning bodies devalued their own product and by putting stock in guys like Floyd. Got y'all talking about seat sales and everything else. My uncles and myself, my brothers, we never had conversations about seat sales in reference to Ray Leonard and Hagler. Ray Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Duran, Ray Leonard. We never had those conversations. That's conversations that y'all kids be having. And we've been telling y'all that's not boxing. Y'all made it that, and look where it got you. Turkey Al-Sheikh came through with a real bag, and he wants your favorite fighter to test his mettle against his contemporaries, and there's nowhere to go. Gone are the days of talking about how much it's worth. We told y'all with AJ, just make the fight. Make the fight. Oh, well, Deontay don't sell enough. What are you talking about? AJ sells then. So just make the fight. What does he do? Carlos Takam. Huh? What? That's what we doing? You guys are so silly. You don't know when you're being pimped. You guys literally worked at the fast food restaurant and been taking money out the register for 3 years. And then when the boss says, yo, this is our last week, we got to close shop. We lost in the last 3 years over $1 million at the cashier. I don't know what the fuck happened. Press says boxing is a business. Fights have to make money. Well, how's that working out now? Because the only way they're making money now is through Turkey Al-Sheikh. And Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to pay you based off of what you do. How's that working out now? You just heard him say Zuffa wants to destroy you, and he gave you a nervous smile. The WBC is done. Hey, Prez, how's that PBC conversation working out right about now? I'll wait, but not too long. All we were saying was make the fights. That's where the money is. You want me to prove it? I'll prove it again. Watch this. Deontay Wilder got Tyson Fury's fat ass off the couch and fought him in the first fight. There was no rematch clause. It was just a fight. They fought to a draw, whatever. Bob Arum came through and said, I want to sign Tyson Fury. That's what he did. He put Tyson Fury on an event. And I know this for a fact. The event didn't sell out. They had to give out tickets because nobody cared. Why? It's Tyson Fury. No one cared. You know when they cared? when he had a proper dance partner. He did not sell the 2 times he fought. He sold when he fought who? Deontay Wilder in the second fight. Prez, you didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. I asked you, how do you feel about the PBC right now? You told me that they run in boxing. History is telling me right now, they don't run anything. In fact, they ran out of time. You missed my last show, didn't you? I rooted for Al Heyman. I protected him from racism. But the jig is up. Watch this, watch this. Have y'all ever supported somebody and then found out that they were full of shit? Don't you look at yourself like, oh my God, how did I didn't see this? You know what I'm never gonna do? I'm never gonna sacrifice my integrity when I know someone, when I find out that someone's full of shit. Timeout, press. Thank you. That's why I took your dumbass wrench. Because you come in here with stupid shit. You come in here with stupid shit. You do more talking. You try to argue. This is a lesson. This right here cannot be debated. I'm telling you in the last 15 years how we got here. And in the last 15 years, if boxing did what it was supposed to do, Turkey wouldn't have had nothing to do. We were supposed to get an undisputed fight between AJ and Deontay. That's it. There isn't supposed to be a franchise status, a silver champion, an interim champion. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that. Look at this dumb shit. Racism? What racism, bro, is boxing? I'm talking to a little N-word from Baltimore. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? That. This is a kid, when I asked him, what do you want to see Tank do at 140? Get as much money as possible. I said, what? Yeah, make as much money when it's possible. He didn't say knock out his contemporaries. He didn't say get at Shakur or Keyshawn. Meet Devin at a catch weight. He said get as much money as possible. What did I tell you about these kids that were born in the 2000s? From 2000 to 2016, now they're teenagers. All they're seeing is fights, and maybe they had a gym punch in the bag. Now, 2021, we out the pandemic. Do you think that they know enough? No, they're fans. They're fanatics. What did I tell y'all about being a fanatic? Ain't no racism in boxing, right? That's what he's saying. But can't explain how the hell Ryan Garcia jumped the line to get a title shot. And this is what happens when you show up to class late, press. You see what I mean? You see, I keep people around so y'all can see it yourself. I can't make this up. Now you see. If Prez was in the boxing industry, by the time they're done with him, he'd be living at his mama house again and have a negative balance in his goddamn bank account and be swearing that there's no racism in the sport. Try telling Larry Holmes ain't no racism in boxing. Try telling Muhammad Ali, God rest the dead, there was no racism. Tell that to Joe Frazier. Oh, but what are you talking about? There's millionaires in boxing. What does that mean? Black Murderers Row. Barack Obama was in the White House. That was the most racism we dealt with in our face from the 8 years he was in the goddamn White House. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? Racism is right here. It's alive. It's well. It might be more covert, but Trump got these motherfuckers online calling us niggas out loud. What are you talking about? There's racism in the world. There's racism in boxing. Why do you think Turkey Al-Sheikh has to say boxing's in a better place when there's a black heavyweight champion? Why do you think he said that out loud? Why do you think he said that? He's telling us. He knows what was done to him. He knows. Let me get back to this fool-ass Mauricio SILLYMAN. Because I've never seen a black franchise champion. Never seen that. Never seen that.
Chris, I'm going to send you all the letters, all the paperwork. I did everything possible to save this matter. But if you run an organization where anarchy, where abuse of power, where disregard to the law or the rules is going to be the one that runs, it's not possible.
But do you as a person, let me ask you, do you believe that you guys deserved $120,000? Like, you keep saying you keep going back to the money. I do keep going back to the money because these guys called me about the money. These fighters, these managers, they're always calling me about money.
Whether it was 50, 60, 300, 120.
Well, if it was 10, he might have given it to you. But if it's 120, that's a big number, man. That's a huge number.
They didn't ask. A fighter never has a complaint when they're making the little money. It's not about the money. I go back and say it's not about the money. Every fighter, when they're making 100,000, 200,000, 1 million, they don't complain at all. It's when they make 10 million that they start complaining. It's when they think they don't need anyone else. They don't need the promoters. They don't need anyone. They don't need nobody.
Did Canelo Alvarez get the same lecture? Asking for a friend.
And that is wrong. We are consistent. You're our champion, whether you make $10 or you make 10 million. And it's the same rules.
You're our champion. He's telling it. He's telling it. He's telling it.
It is not about the money, Chris.
Well, but it is. You keep saying that. It is about the money. These guys want their money.
It's you who says it's about the money.
It's not me. It's you.
Oh, my God. It's not him. Bud said, F you, I'm out. Shakur said, F you, take it. And you on here arguing with a guy that's never been in a ring on a professional level in his life, to my knowledge.
Core Stevenson, who said he'd rather give the 120 grand to his daughter.
Good for him. Then don't be a WBC champion.
But he wasn't fighting for the WBC title. This is what I keep going back to.
He was the WBC lightweight champion. Fight between champions. If they don't want the belt, it's okay. If you want the belt, you go according to the rules, Chris. Why don't you understand? And
but you're telling me. So let me ask.
Why don't you? So you think there should not be rules?
I think there should be rules. I think some of your rules kind of stink.
I'd like to hear from you, and we'll work on them.
I think that rule where if a guy's going up to 140 pounds to fight for a different sanctioning body's title, he shouldn't have to pay 100 grand out of his pocket to do it.
That's the rule.
So you're telling me, just let me finish it with this.
Every organization has that same rule.
Then it's a crappy rule that these.
And this is why they're dying. This is why they're dying. Exactly, Xavier. Canelo threw his shit in the trash. And when he spun the block, you see how he talked about Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia? He talked about that tenfold about Canelo Alvarez. And when it came time for Canelo to fight Jamal Charlo, that's when we learned what a franchise status was. And he dumped the real belt, and Canelo went ahead and did whatever he wanted to do. They do what's great for business. He just told you that. That's how Ryan Garcia is getting the title shot. That's why he allowed Conor Ben to leapfrog based off of something that they did totally unrelated. So here's my question. If these guys are getting ranked and praised for shit that's unrelated, why are you penalizing somebody that jumps up to another division, gets a belt, right? Gets a belt, and you're punishing him with a goddamn fee that had nothing to do with your sanctioning body. How the fuck does that work? And that's the rule that stinks. You see what I mean? Let's get back to it. You praise guys for doing shit unrelated to boxing. And by the way, those are two drug cheats. One of them is a racist. But you punish Shakur for going up in weight, doing something great. And it, by the way, it had nothing to do with you. Remember what I said yesterday? You work 2 jobs. Your second job is part-time. You come to work, your boss at your main gig says, yo, you got to give me 3% of that check. For what? Because you took your ass over there when you left here. Well, I'm back here today on time. That job's not interfering with what I'm doing here. Why the fuck I got to give you 3% of what I'm doing over there? That's in the rules. What? Yeah, all right.
These guys are getting taken advantage of for that money. If they look, if he's, I was actually to be fair, Mauricio, I was on your side. I was on your side.
Being the champion, moving up in weight, and being a champion gives a element of positive and value.
I think Shakur Stevenson was number 1 at 135. Teofimo Lopez was number 1 at 140. That's all that mattered. I don't think anybody gave a damn about.
That's all that matters for you.
It's all that matters to the 21,000 fans in the building and everybody watching on TV. You know that. You are a smart man, Mauricio. You know this.
Why did Shakur Stevenson, why did Teofimo Lopez became so famous? Because they were champions of the WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF.
And they...
Shut the fuck up. Lord Swift, real B-more in the building. Shut up. This guy just lied. He's saying that they became famous because they were WBC champions. Let me ask y'all a question. You ready? When was Teofimo Lopez ever a real WBC champion at 135? No! You heard what I just asked you? Didn't I tell you this guy's a liar? I'm gonna ask the question again. When was Teofimo Lopez ever a WBC champion at 135? Y'all may have saw him with a belt. He may tell you, I paid sanctioning fees on that franchise. But where'd he get it from? Teofimo got it from Lomachenko, right? The franchise status that wasn't transferable when it was invented. It wasn't transferable until Teofimo Lopez beat Loma. Then it became transferable that night. This guy makes rules up as he goes along. Why? Why? I'll tell you why. He does what's good for business. He told you why in this whole interview. And this is why Zuffa is about to murk these dudes. I want these dudes out of business with their shirt out their pants. And I want Mauricio to get a real job. Because you're failing at this. Thank you, Turkey Al-Sheikh. This is what boxing deserves. The way y'all used to think and the way you used to do, the old way of doing things, it's up now. When it's time for you to fight your contemporary, if you don't do it, Dana White's going to get you out of there. He's going to put you to the back of the line. Hey, man, you ranked number 3. You about to fight number 2. I don't fight that guy, but I could beat the champion. Nope, that's not how we're doing this. The champion has to fight a mandatory. You got to fight. You're number 3. You got to fight number 2. Well, I'm saying, I sell out seats in my city. Dana White comes like, yeah, we understand all of that. But you're not jumping the line here. Are you going to fight him? Well, no. Get to the back of the line. So number 4, now you're number 3 now. Number 3 is going to be now ranked number 15 because everybody's moving up. Because he refused to fight number 3. See how that works? Number 3 refused to fight number 2 for his spot. So number 3 got to get to the back of the line now. You see? Now, things are always subject to change. They're always subject to change. And I'm not saying that Turkey's perfect. I'm not saying that Dana's perfect. I'm saying that this is what boxing deserves. Like how I said, Mike Tyson, Desiree Washington lied on him. I will stand by that. I think she a liar. But you know what? At that point, I think Mike needed to go sit down. JL did him well. Because the way he was going, he beat that charge, he'd have felt untouchable. He needed to get off the street because somebody was going to shoot him. What I say about Tank? I don't know. Facts might still come out. They might say, hey, this bitch lied. But that judge might have it out for him and say, hey, man, I want you to go sit down regardless. It might do him some good. Yeah, Lord Sweat, we need change. Because I didn't like the landscape of boxing as it was. People ducking fights, talking for the stupidest reasons. Oh, this guy don't make enough money, and I'm the A side, the B side. Yo, with Turkey, there's no A side, B side. He'll go to you and say, yo, here's your contemporary. All right, how much you want? I got that. How much you want? I got that. Now y'all fight. So when Turkey went to Tank and said, 50 mil, come to Saudi, punch Devin in the face, he asked for 2 Ferraris. Duck. He ain't got to bend the knee to Turkey. Who is he? Okay, don't worry about it then. Don't worry about who he is. But he bent the knee to Jake Paul for 40 million. Yo, Xavier, it says the video's unavailable. But yeah, I'm gonna need you to translate that for me later. But let me get back to this clown, Mauricio SILLYMAN.
Paid you for that. When they won the WBC title and defended it, they paid you, which they should. I was actually on your side on the Terrence Crawford stuff. I was, I don't know about the number, the 300 grand. I'm not going to weigh in on that. But I think at the time, Terrence Crawford wanted to have his cake and needed to. He wanted to be undisputed, but he didn't want to pay what you were asking for. He should have just said, no, I'm not going to pay for it and become unified.
Shakur, my friend.
But he was fighting for the 168-pound title. Shakur Stevenson was not fighting.
The rule says and has said for decades, and it has applied.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. If that rule is in writing and it's etched in stone and you signed up for it, then you're subject to the rules because it's in black and white. What Mannix is saying is that rule is fucking horrible, and I agree. And this is what I'm saying. These guys have been conditioned because they normalized that shit. Has anyone, before they signed with the WBC, to carry their hardware, has anyone said, hey, man, this 3% shit, you mean to tell me if I go up in weight and I fight for an IBF or a WBO, you're still going to charge me for doing work somewhere else? Nah, scratch that out. You could charge me for every title defense at my weight division, when I'm fighting for your belt. You could charge me if I go up in weight to fight the other WBC champion. That makes sense. But you're going to charge me if I go fight for a WBO? And it's not a unification in the same division. I go up a division and fight for a WBO. It has nothing to do with you. I still got to pay you? Now, to Maurice's defense, it's in black and white. Hey, family, read the goddamn paperwork. Uh-oh. Brother Oddfella says he ain't enforced that rule when Canelo lost to Bivol. This is why I say Mauricio is FOS. You see what I mean? See that? He is selective. And in case y'all don't know what he's talking about, when Canelo was the champion at 68, the man went up to fight Bivol for his, it was a WBA, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It was a WBA, right? Todd French in that super chat, he says it's a sanctioning body that don't pay them. Hashtag diabolical. Diabolical. Canelo went. What are they going to tell me? He didn't win. That's why he didn't charge him. Now let me read this. Bellaface says, how did Bud try to have his cake and eat it too? Bud paid the other sanctioning bodies 3% an amount that you speculated. You see that last word? Remember we zoned in on that yesterday, that word? It's a percentage off of what is speculated. They don't know what Shakur made. But they speculate 3% rounded out to $120,000. Huh? That's right, Stormy. He don't implement a lot of rules when it comes to Latin fighters. That's why all of this shit is like out of the box. What? I bet you he'll say, oh, well, Canelo, he went up, but he did not win. No, he went up and he put in the work. And guess what? Did he go up and fight for free? No, he had a purse. Why didn't you say, hey, I want to know, did Canelo pay him? When you went to fight Bivol, was a condition, oh, I won? No. You know why? I bet you those same rules don't apply to Canelo because he got people in there saying, yo, this shit right here, Canelo needs to be moving like a franchise status with or without that franchise belt. So if he is holding your belt and wants to go up to 75 and fight for a WBO, so what? You're not charging him. That's what they'll tell you the condition was if he won. No, Shakur could have went up there and Teofimo knock him out. Mauricio would have still charged him. Why? Because you could be fighting for my belt in my division. Instead, you take your ass somewhere else and put yourself at risk. You could go in there and have your career ended. But I had you, there was work for you to do here. You worked for me. So I got to charge you for scaring me. You could have gotten hurt. Pay your daddy $120K. Fuck out of here. Throw that shit in the trash.
To everyone, and they have respected it. Shakur Stevenson made a title defense and he didn't make weight.
So Canelo Alvarez in 2019, you're telling me Canelo Alvarez, when he moved up to fight Sergey Kovalev with a 175-pound title, he paid you a 6-figure sanctioning fee.
What do you think he's going to say?
I believe so. I will have to check.
Oh my God, he don't know? He don't know? That's a no. That is a no. Our fella said Bivol. He jumped straight to Kovalev. I wasn't even thinking about that. He should have said Bivol. He's supposed to know this shit. Canelo Alvarez, the first franchise champion. I'm going to go with no. But you know what? I would love for Canelo to open up the books and say, is that true?
Yeah, I'd check on that. I'd check on that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. If he remained champion in the...
He did.
Yes, of course.
He did.
And they didn't strip his belt. So did they charge him 3% and he paid it? This is Canelo we're talking about. I need to follow up on that. You know what? Email Chris Mannix and ask him to follow up on that. And then bring up the Bivol shit. I'm going to follow up on that. I'm going to hop in his DMs and I'm going to email him. Hey, Chris, what's the word on whether Canelo was charged 3% when he went up and fought Kovalev? And by the way, did they charge him the same 3% when he fought Dimitri Bivol for his title? I just want to know. Did you get an answer to that? Yes or no? Please, I need to know this. Thank you, Chris. That's the question. Shout out to Oddfella. Yes.
He was the 160-pound champion at the time, and you said a month after the fight, and I quote, I think the best thing would be for him to return to the middleweight division, since competing at super middleweight or light heavyweight is going to be a big advantage for his opponent. So this was a month after his fight. You were encouraging him to come back to middleweight.
Well, he's been in super middleweight and has been successful.
Well, this was after Kovalev, I'm saying. And I would love to know if you charged Canelo Alvarez the same money you were trying to charge Shakur Stevenson, because he did the exact same thing. WBO light heavyweight title, moved up in weight, and kept his WBC middleweight title.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did he go back to 160, y'all? Was he ever stripped? You see that? You see that? Oh, Queen, we ain't even gonna go here. Shorty says, again, the WBC has only paid $2.5 million to help fighters. Where's the rest? What's the total, by the way? Because I don't know the number, Queen. What's the total? I know it's more than 2.5. What's the total? Eric Jordan, salute. Black Jericho.
Well, Mauricio, I do appreciate you doing this. We're never going to see eye to eye on a lot of these things, but I appreciate the conversation. I think it's constructive to have these kinds of discussions, and I would be happy to attend a ratings, whatever you call it, ratings meeting, whatever ratings seminar, sometime in the future, just to see how all that works and weigh in on it in person.
You know, you should also come to a WBC convention.
Fuck that. That should be like in Asia somewhere. You gotta take like 40 planes and go. No.
We meet
you do them. You do them in the middle of no. You do them if you do them in like New York City. I'll go to it, Mauricio. I'm not going. I'm not going.
See what I mean?
I'm not going to Thailand or wherever you went.
Did not jump, bro.
That last time, I'm not going
It's
over there.
It's the world of boxing.
I know.
Why do you have to go way down to fucking Thailand to manipulate some rankings, man?
You would learn a lot.
I'll bet.
To see how we operate.
He wants to bring him down to Thailand so he could put him in a room with some boy girls and video him and say, hey, that girl, that was not the girl, that was little boy. If you fuck with me, this video goes out.
All meetings are in an open floor. When we talk about the ratings or the mandatories, any person can talk, go into the microphone and discuss and put his argument in front of everybody.
But isn't that kind of crazy in and of itself? Like, shouldn't you have a ratings committee that doesn't need people to make an argument? Like, if your ratings committee isn't smart enough to know how to rank the top 10 guys.
You are doing an argument for Chisoko and for others right now. So
well, yeah, but I'm a media member. I'm just a reporter. Like, I'm doing it out there. Like, your ratings committee shouldn't need to hear from anybody. They should be smart enough to know how to rate these guys.
No. You have the right to be heard. You have the right to come as a manager, promoter, or fighter yourself and say, look, I've been fighting and maybe you don't have me under the radar.
Why, when you just explained that it's a popularity contest? You just explained that. They were asked about Conor Ben. And he said, do you think Conor Ben loses to him? My God.
My name is this, and then everything is looked up. Open floor for everyone. But I mean, you would be learning a lot of things of what happens in the box.
I think I learned everything that I needed to know, and it's just what I suspected.
Boxing world, the boxing is worldwide. Boxing is Manny Pacquiao, Philippines, Inoue, Japan, Canelo, Mexico, Mbili, Canada, Fury, Usyk. It's a world.
Did he mention an American fighter? 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 Did he mention an American fighter?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll save this discussion again for another day. Mauricio, I appreciate it. I will see you in less than 2 weeks at the Ryan Garcia Mario Barrios fight, the big fight in Las Vegas, the WBC welterweight title on the line in that fight. It's good to talk to you. And again, I do appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chris.
Man, shut up. Fuck out of here, man. So there you have it. There you have it. What have we learned? Todd French in that super chat, he said the sanctioning body that don't negotiate fights, pay for VADA, don't secure event facilities, don't provide equipment, ring, pay fighters, hashtag pay WBC for what exactly? Man, this is crazy. Everything you needed to know about this man, about that sanctioning body, you've learned. Between today's show and yesterday's show is his words, not mine. Just let them talk. Thank you, Stormy. I was just going to say that. Chris Mannix, you go anywhere near that convention, you'll make it there. You might have some problems on the way back. You might have some problems on the way back. Your plane might fall out the sky. Scrolling down a page, and I followed the zone. I have a subscription. Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia watch along with Showbiz the Coon and Wade Clemens. This dude literally let the industry give him the only back shots. This ain't hard work and dedication. This was clearly sick ducking. And I can't stand y'all. We're dealing with boxing is a dirtbag sport, and I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't talk about it. President here said that he basically said there's no racism in boxing. Can I ask y'all a question? Where's Joseph Parker's B sample? Maybe I missed it. Anyone? Joseph Parker popped dirty for that nose candy. Where that B sample at? It just didn't happen, right? You know what's going to happen sometime this year? Joseph Parker's going to pop up. They're going to say, hey, man, it was worked out. It was a 0.0000000 point billionth of a gram, and, you know, it's okay. Y'all do know that those hard drugs are also masking agents for other drugs. Y'all do know that, right? Now, let me say this about Joseph Parker. I'm not going to push this off as him having some sort of a substance abuse issue. I'm not. You know why? And he friends with Tyson Fury, who's a drug addict, who took a year off and faked the retirement because he didn't want to get tested for drugs. Because once you say you retired, they ain't gonna drug test you. Y'all know that, right? Okay, right. He also, him and his Samoan family, they were caught up in some fugazi activities, illegal activities. And they were all related to Joseph Parker. Now, he wasn't like arrested or nothing because, you know, his people didn't snitch on him. But that shit was in the news. Those are his people. That's right. Janet Beck, ain't nobody talking. Ryan Garcia, give him a break. I can imagine if Devin Haney popped for anything. Can imagine. Then you see Chris Mannix show his ass. And by the way, let me say this, man. This morning, you know, I follow Ring on Instagram, and Malik Scott was sitting at the panel with that other black dude that don't know shit, and Max Kellerman. And they were talking about Tyson Fury and the cheating. And talking about what Deontay said in his last interview. And Malik was saying, yeah, that guy's a cheater, da-da-da-da-da. Here come Max. Yeah, well, you know, Deontay said that the suit was 50 pounds heavy. And the other black dude surprisingly said, no, that's not what he said. That's what a reporter put out. That's not what he said. So I go to the comments. And for the most part, the comments, they were on code. But then I saw, who was also on that panel, Mike Cappinger, talking about all these excuses. So he's in the chat. Someone says, yo, well, wasn't Fury's gloves checked? Mike Cappinger says, they were. You know what I did, right? I went in on them. How do you know? I know people that were on deck didn't see you. Someone told you? Who told you? Mauricio? He's a liar. I got video of the locker room. Mauricio was not there. Mauricio shows up to shake hands, tell the fighters to be safe, blessings, and he leaves. But then when I spoke to Mauricio on Fred's show, he told me that I witnessed both the gloves being put on. That's what he said. And I said, that's impossible. He did not. He's lying. How are you in both locker rooms? He lied. This man is a liar. And then I went on to ask him, I said, Mike, how many times have you even mentioned Daniel Kinahan? Deontay wasn't only fighting a cheating-ass opponent across the ring. He was fighting a whole organized system against him. How dare you crackers brush that off? How dare you? And that's the racist part of it. Why does Billy Collins, every time you mention him, they go, oh, man, what happened to him was wrong, man. And they put up that picture of his eyes swollen to feel sorry for him. Oh. Billy Collins, oh. Panama Lewis, throw him out, oh. And guess what? Billy Collins was done a disservice. Yes, I agree. But when I talk about Deontay and he's fighting this dude that never had bone-crushing power and he has a dent in the side of his head and the doctor said, no, man, that was a foreign object. That was not no punch. This isn't new shit. Y'all don't extend Deontay the same courtesy? Okay, I got y'all. Salute to fool-ass Earthman. He says, all I see is the work. Drew Titan fam. Salute to you, brother.
You fool-ass Earthman.
Salute. I got y'all tomorrow. Y'all want to see what I'm doing tomorrow? Simeon Saturdays. This is very important. Y'all want to see what I'm doing tomorrow? Okay. This is my live stream tomorrow. And don't ruin it because I'm going to put this up and I'm expecting a bunch of unfamiliars that don't know about my content. In fact, I want them to come over here and label me a hater and a racist, and I want that tomorrow. Based off of what I said last, I want them to come over here and argue with me because I have questions. Here's what I'm doing tomorrow. What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? What do you think I'm doing tomorrow? Oh, there's gonna be some angry motherfuckers tomorrow, bro. There's gonna be some angry motherfuckers tomorrow, bro. There's gonna be some angry mofos, but you know what? They don't pay attention to detail. I'm expecting everybody to come through here angry. I'm gonna drop the link, and I want a bunch of unfamiliars coming here cussing and screaming and speaking their native tongue. I'm gonna let them get it all off and watch when it's my turn. Because I'm going to lead with one question. Is there cheating in boxing? Is there cheating in boxing? Yes or no? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So Margarito cheated Cotto? He did. How do you know? They're going to bring up Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley caught him. Cotto didn't catch him. So you can't take that to court, right? Now, we all know what we saw, and we could put two and two together. Like, I'm pretty much sure Manny Pacquiao was juicing. You'd be pretty sure that Margarito was goofing around with his hand wraps. We had Kermit Cintron on here, said, nah, that man cheated me. And not one time did they say it was their responsibility to check Margarito's gloves. Not one time did anyone say that. There was sympathy, and there was redemption when Cotto beat him on a fair playing field. Why doesn't Deontay Wilder get extended that same courtesy? Anyway, y'all pull up tomorrow. Yeah, Thomas, I want that heat. I want that heat. Because all of them say Deontay Wilder is making excuses. They're going to say, that's different. No, man, that's different. That's different. No, man, that's different. It is. Yeah, it is different. Cotto wasn't fighting a whole Mexican cartel. Deontay was fighting a whole Irish cartel. He's fighting referees, poisoning of water, faulty equipment. And the Americans left them out to dry. That's what y'all niggas did. So anyway, salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. Y'all pull up on Simeon Saturdays tomorrow. And we're going to talk about it.
Faggot shit.
Death to the WBC. I hope all of you get balled up into a mini car. That little Toyota Corolla, that little 1998 Toyota Corolla. It'd be like 80 y'all in there. I don't know how y'all do it. Get up in that and drive down across Bronx Expressway. Push that son bitch up to about 90 miles an hour and meet that tractor trailer right before you get off on Jerome Avenue. And I mean that. Shout out to Zuffa. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Faggot shit.